If you have done the work of trying to trade, okay? If you tried to study how to trade and you tried to trade with money before you were ready, and because you failed by trying to trade with real money, and you do not have minimum 6 months of consistency with a rule-based idea using what I taught or anybody else's bullshit, and you're saying because you lost money with a real account, you're done, you're quitting, you're not a fucking trader. You're doing the best thing for yourself. You're absolutely making the best decision for yourself. But if you have 6 months of real data where you followed a rule-based idea, you were managing risk, you're not in there fucking playing cowboy, maximum leverage and trying to see what happens. Because when you do that maximum leverage shit, number one, you can't do that consistently with live funds and expect to survive it. You can't. Nobody can fucking do that as a new trader. You can't do it. You're not going to be the person that does it, okay? And trust me when I'm telling you that with love and sincerity. I'm not trying to tell you you're fucking stupid or a moron. I'm saying that you literally are not equipped to do that. Because if you've never made money with maximum leverage and you've never seen that kind of profit come into your hands, it literally causes you to go fucking stupid, like crazy. Like you think you see everything in a chart now. And your impulsiveness, and because you're hopped up. That when I say you're hopped up on goofballs, it's just a funny expression for me to explain to you that you've lost all sense of rational thinking. You have the feeling, imagine you won the lottery and it was the $750 million or $1 billion bullshit that they say that exists. And you won that. Try to describe what that might feel. You can't even come close to it because you're never going to be there. But the person that would be there, they're euphoric. They're out of their fucking mind. And that feeling, because you've never been there before, will make you think that you are better than you really are. And you're going to go in there and do the same thing again when there ain't a setup. Somebody with a rule-based idea, a rule-based protocol to trading and assuming risk and managing that risk appropriately will say, I've done my executions. I've entered and ended the trade. I'm done. My rules say I can only do one setup. I don't give a fuck how much it runs. There's going to be all the people out there, oh, but ICT saying you shouldn't do this and so. Listen, for the fucking people that say that shit, come forward with your fucking results. Okay? Come forward with your fucking results because nobody's got time for your Mickey Mouse fucking opinions. I sure as fucking don't have the time for it. I got till November. I'm looking at my fucking watch here. We ain't got much fucking time. Bring your shit. Bring your fucking shit or remain silent because I'm done. I'm fucking done. I stayed a year longer on this fucking application on Twitter, longer than I wanted to be. Bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You want to learn how to make money? Fine. Show up, roll your fucking sleeves up, take notes, and listen. Do everything I say to do and don't do the things I say not to do. Expect it to take a minimum of a year. Minimum. Because there's things that you have to practice. There's things that you have to look forward to and see if they pan out. If they don't pan out, what does that make you feel like as a trader? What does it give you in terms of impulsiveness? Does it make you feel like you got to do something to fix that problem? Do you feel uncomfortable about being wrong? Those are things that people don't realize until they go through it. But they put blinders on and say, fuck it, that doesn't really exist. I need to go into the next trade and over leverage. I need to refund my fucking shit. I got to reset my stuff. I got to go ahead and make the world believe I'm a good fucking trader. I got to show my stuff on the internet. I got to do a MyFX book because nobody believes that I'm making profits. Nobody gives a fuck if you're making profits. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck that I'm making money. Nobody gives a shit. Why are you worrying about fucking shit that doesn't make any more fucking money for you? But you're increasing your fucking concern about shit that's going to have more negative impact than it's going to help you positively. I don't understand how many fucking people can have their head so far up their own ass that they can't see that that's counterproductive. You'll do all that extracurricular bullshit that's going to hold you back and distract you from actually doing the work than simply doing 25% of the effort you're doing to do everything opposed to following instructions and then finding the success that you say doesn't fucking exist. It's asinine. I don't understand. I don't understand why so many fucking people drag their feet. It's for free. It's fucking proven it fucking works. It's proof. Come on. Seriously, why the fuck are you waiting around? Get in there and start. Don't tinker with the fucking rules. Don't bring your bullshit. GAN is not part of this fucking discussion. Unless I talk about it. Unless it's part of the fucking issue and the model that's being exposed, and as far as this is the time you're going to trade. This is the time where if you don't have a trade and it's this time of the day, you cannot take a trade. I don't give a fuck if anything happens after that. You can't trade. Period. That right there cancels about 75% of you. Well, I can't do it because, okay. I'm not going to stop fucking being me. I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm not going to stop being who I am because a certain percentage of my viewership can't do something. You said you can't. I didn't say you can't. You fucking said you can't. Because you said you can't, I fucking believe you. I absolutely believe that you can't do it. I believe you. You don't have to argue with me. You don't have to convince me. It's a settled matter. You said you can't, therefore you can't. When you change your mind and say, I can, I believe you. You don't need to convince me. I absolutely have proof that you can. Before you get your proof, I already know you can. But I'm in a position where I don't need to be swayed. I don't need to prove shit to nobody else. The proof's already out there. And I'm inviting all of you to simply investigate it on your own, and that way you'll find it for yourself. And when you get it, even if it's the $80 win, $80 a couple times a week, you know what that does? That pays for your fucking groceries. Yeah. It pays for a car payment, maybe a cell phone bill in addition to that. And then what happens over time? Wow. You know, I'm really learning how to do this. I can now apply more effort and more equity. And then you compound that same cookie cutter approach that you've been doing with a micro account, micro contract. Now you're trading minis. And eventually dozens of them. And guess what happens then? Your frequency of trading drops. What did you say? Wait a minute, I'm already got my calculator here and I'm doing 50 contracts of NASDAQ at this, and I'm trying to do it Monday through Friday. And this motherfucker just came out and said, trade less. Trade less? Man, what is this guy on? I'm on the reality tip. Because when you start making 5 figures a week, why the fuck are you going to push it? Live your life. Live it. Some of you, not all of you, some of you would find the very existence that's going to be absolutely phenomenal for you, and you don't have to make $1 million a year. Many of you think that you have to be a millionaire every year over and over and over again, or you're not successful. That's bullshit. Because the person that finds their income and then a surplus income beyond that, outside of their job, and they no longer need their job and they fire their boss, I'm going to tell you, that's a person that's walking on fucking clouds right now. They're absolutely comfortable inside their own skin. And they're not the ones out here trying to prove it to anybody because they don't give a fuck. They have got a lifestyle now that they are not plugging into social media, which is 90% of horseshit and fucking negativity. They're not giving a fuck if somebody doesn't believe. You think they care who doesn't believe that they're doing what they're doing? They don't even know these people exist that doubt what they do. They don't give a shit. And that's how I've been. And I'm going back to that in November. I don't give a fuck who doesn't like me, who doesn't believe in me, I don't give a shit. But I have left my fucking legacy in this fucking industry, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. You want to shoot holes through it? Okay, come with the data. You want to come here and say, well, it wasn't as good as he thought it was. Okay, well, show us what you did and how you fucking failed at it. What did you do? Where and how did you use the information? I guarantee you did it wrong. But I took notes. I see, here's 5 pages of some scribbly ass bullshit. I took notes. It's like my son. Dad, do I have to watch all these fucking videos? What the fuck did you just say to me? What did you just say to me? Well, I was just asking. You were just what? You were just what? The whole fucking reason why I'm making these fucking videos is for you and your brothers. I don't need to do these fucking videos. I'm doing it in case something ever happens to me. My mindset, the things that I codified are actually accessible to you. You won't even understand my fucking journals unless you listen to this shit. So it's in the youth. It's not, my son's not even exempt from it. It's just everybody wants it easy. And truth be told, if I believed that it was an easier way, when I was younger, because I already knew it was going to be hard. Like I knew it was going to be hard. And that's why I said, I'm going to give myself 20 years. I'm going to give myself 20 years because it's going to take a long time, making money, lose money. And I'm going to probably mess it up here and there. And I just think that if I get to when I'm 40 and I have $1 million in the bank, I'm set. Now, mind you, I'm thinking I have a house. Doesn't need to be a big house like this one. It just needs to be a house and a car or two. And maybe I have a dog and I have a wife and some kids or whatever. And I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to live above my means. I just don't want to have to work when I'm 40 years old into the grave. That was my plan. That was my goal for myself. It wasn't get rich. It wasn't drive Lamborghinis. It wasn't any of that stuff. It wasn't a jet set life. It was just being able to do whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it and not have to worry about, am I going to be able to make my bills if I spend that money? Because I didn't come from rich. I didn't come from that. And when you start making money and in the visibility of being able to make more money that wasn't available to you, like your mind is closed to that. As much as you want to say, I can see myself, you're saying you would like that, but you can't really see it. Because if you can see it, if you really could see it, nothing's holding you fucking back. Not anybody that's doubting you and your family or friend circle, and anybody online. None of that shit's going to be an impediment. Nothing's going to slow you down. You're not going to hear the bullshit that anybody's going to say about it. And that's exactly what I felt when I was 20. November 5th, 1992 at 9 p.m. on a Thursday evening, I cracked that book open. And when I was done reading it, you're probably asking for the first time if you're listening for the first time, what book were you reading? It was some piece of shit book written by Ken Roberts. I spent too much money on. It was supposed to be a course on commodity trading. And it was really just an introduction, very, very oversimplification of something that would have otherwise been useless to anyone. But some people have made money with it. And it was just one of those things where they got lucky. It was a big move. And he taught long-term daily chart trading where you hold on to a position for weeks and maybe a couple months, which that doesn't fit me. But when I finished that book, I had a new appreciation for money, number one. And two, it gave me an exit. Because at that moment, I was thinking, I really want to be able to use my education and be a systems analyst and basically work with programmers and work for companies that, they have a function they need done, and work with an IT group and say, okay, this is what they need. And we got to go through and make this for this company. So that was what I wanted to do. And I no longer wanted to do that. November 5th, 1992 at 11:30. I was literally excited about something I barely knew anything about. And how many times my uncle brought it up when I was a younger teenager. I was 14, 15, 16 years old every Sunday. Richest people in the world trade futures and options, Michael. Like I was being conditioned. I was being primed. So I know the Lord had this for me. Like he had every intentions of me being who I am. The failures I've had is where I've allowed my instabilities, somebody that's bipolar, I don't always come across in an articulate manner. Sometimes I use language that isn't very, easy on the ears. And I'll swing from one way or the other. But there's no denying that what he's laid in my hands is absolutely the closest thing to a holy grail than there's ever been. The problem is you're going to want to use it more times than you should. It's kind of like when you're a teenager and you discovered sex for the first time. You know, man, that was great. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And some of you men still feel that way. maybe the ladies too, but you have to have a time and place to do it. And you have to be able to use protection. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to multiply losing trades, and nobody wants a lot of unwanted children that the broken family will many times victimize. And I was from a fractured family. So I grew up in this world with a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove that even though my parents didn't want anything to do with me, I'm going to make them regret that. Even still today, they don't give a fuck. Like, you would think, hey, Michael, this is crazy what you were able to do. Wow. Not one thing, nothing like that. But they both had their hand out for money though. My son has the best fucking cheerleader he would ever fucking have. Because I've been where all of you are and less than. I've been homeless. I was sleeping in a Mustang with my oldest son, laying in the front seat, no car seat. I was broke. Yeah. Filed bankruptcy in 1998 just to fucking go into a courtroom to tell his mother, I don't have any money. That's the extent I was willing to go. My son, who this whole presentation was about and circled around, doesn't have that problem. He has someone that is absolutely available all the time, wants to absolutely spend every waking fucking minute building him up. I don't know any of you. And Alex, by the way, I have no availability to go to Miami. I appreciate your invite. I did get your email. But I'm also reminding everyone, I am not trying to be a celebrity. I don't want to go on people's shows. I had people calling me literally wanting to be on talk shows. I don't want to be on any of that stuff. I don't want to be none of that stuff. I don't want to be a celebrity. If I wanted that shit, I wouldn't be leaving in November. I'm anticipating with a great deal of excitement my leaving of social media in November. So I want you to understand, it's not a knock against you, Alex. I'm very proud of what you've been able to do, but I don't want to be in that setting. I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't want to have that type of climate around me, and I'll be watching whatever you do, and with a great deal of pride in what you've been able to accomplish. But I don't want to waste more time away from my kids, because I have a little bit of interest in the trading aspect on two of them right now. And because of that, my youngest is now asking me questions. So he spent time with me in 3 days, and we were watching price, and he actually watched me live trade it. Real money, by the way, not demo. So that inspired him. So I really want to take the advantages of not having all of this time invested in all of you, which I have absolutely enjoyed. I've loved it. I've loved being able to share this with you. I've loved the time spent with all of you. I've loved to see the results that some of you actually went out and did what I told you to do. And you're amazing results. A lot of you are still shy. And I'm sure once I'm gone, there'll be a void there where people will say, well, this is where I'm coming out. And I'm going to show everybody this. And this is what I've done. And that's great. I'll watch you. I'm going to cheerlead you from afar. But I don't even know you. And look what I'm willing to do for you. How much more do you think I'm going to do for my own kids? I have been wanting this my entire adult life. And I have it now. And some of you are literally writing me fucking emails telling me I'm selfish, I'm ignorant because I'm not willing to still teach. I'm not doing some secret fucking paid mentorship. You know what I'm doing? I'm investing my time, energy, and whatever the Lord gives me into my children. I have already left you more than enough.